like when I go to the studio with a nigga and he's doing his shit and I'm on the song, he know what I'm gonna do.
Right.
He knows I'm not gonna try to emulate him. You know.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's a cool thing. But I've definitely been in, and that's why it's like, bro, I'm like, I know I'm in the cloth of certain shit because I've moving to Rockford and not knowing anybody and been like, all right, where's the open mics at? Okay, they're in the spots where everybody is rapping like this.
Right, yeah.
You know? And here come me doing some other shit completely.
Yeah.
You know? And that's how I kind of started fucking with Gabe and shit.
Right.
Because he was doing shit like that too. Like he wasn't necessarily like doing the street nigga
he
rap
widened
side.
it. I feel like a lot of what y'all did too is locally you widened the genre, you know, and I think that different artists at different times culturally where it's like, okay, this person widened the genre where now, you know, hip hop includes something else, you know, now the music includes something else. I always think about like the Young and Wealthy video that Gabe put out, you know, to me that was one of the things where it widened what a music video could look like or what a music video could be. Even doing the fashion, like the emphasis that you put on the fashion, the emphasis that, you know, you put on having events where the event not centered just around music or creative music, you know, it's centered around fashion and what's going on with the fashion and branding. I think that, you know, y'all did a good job with expanding that out too.
I think we did a good job of like inadvertently educating on like what hip hop is outside of just the thing that people might have known. And I'm not trying to like stereotype like people who listen to rap music in Rockford or anything by any means, but I do think that there was at least from my perspective, like people weren't necessarily like open to, I mean, bro, you can go to the bar and you can tell that people are not necessarily open into listening to different subgenres in rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think that we did a good job of like opening that up, which is why, like, bro, like we would have events, bro, and it would be some street niggas there, it would be some white boys there, it would be some hipster niggas there, it would be girls there, it would be a blending pot of like different subgenres that didn't have a space to like tangibly exist outside. You know, like you couldn't go, if you went to the spot with the black people, you was gonna hear the same run through type of music. You know, you weren't gonna hear like a Lupe record thrown in there, and you weren't gonna hear Wiz thrown in there, and Ye and all of these. You was gonna hear the street shit, you know, and that's not everything that doesn't encompass everything of hip hop. And so I think we did a good job of like, to your point, of widening it and educating on like what inadvertently, because we weren't like set out to do that by any means, but I think just by like having like Gabe being from fucking London and moving here, and me being from New York and moving here, and Darius being as cold as he was doing shit, like we were going to do it. We had no choice but to do it differently, because we didn't know how to do it any other way. You know what I mean? So.
And I think that, you know, that's one of the things, you know, sort of back to the idea of an ecosystem where, you know, a different species, you know, comes into the ecosystem and then it evolves the ecosystem, and either you get pushed out the ecosystem or you would survive and you adapt to the ecosystem. And now the ecosystem is more habitable to a wider range of species, you know, and it has a better chance of success. And I think that that's one of the things that's really happened in the city locally.